that you helped all the people that suffer from burns all over the world.
Matter of days, are you sure?
2 weeks, tops.
Okay, but just until the wedding.
Ah, that's my Katie. No, sorry. Reflex.
Okay. Look, court is on assignment, so I think I'll stay here and put in a few hours tonight.
No, wait. I'm going to be leaving myself soon, okay?
You are?
Yeah, I got to sleep sometimes. I just have to go over some of this research here. Why don't you come in first thing in the morning?
Okay. I'll see you then.
Okay. Kate. Thanks. I appreciate the extra time. I know it's going to benefit both of us.
Sure.
Okay. Bye. Oh, yes, my dear. It certainly will.
I've seen your type in action.
I don't have to take this. I'm a licensed city inspector.
Sure, you use your licenses to frighten and intimidate little businesses like this one.
You better tell your associate to back off.
You were the inspector. You had better tell her.
Go for it, Judith. Take a good look at him, Wanda, the neighborhood bully. He's not going to pick on the big businesses because they line his pockets. No, he's going to come down hard on all the little businesses.
I've got pages of violations here.
They're all lies. Wanda, do you remember the last time you had an exterminator in here?
Last week.
Do you have the receipts and records of what was done?
Yes, I do. I have receipts. I have records, everything.
Jeff, you want to take over?
You're on a roll. Go for it.
Mr. Monroe, my associate and I will be very happy to turn those receipts over to a court of law. And then we will let a judge decide whether there are rats and creepy crawly things in Wanda's diner. But until then, I warn you, the next space you will inspect will be a cell at Statesville Prison.
Hey, listen, lady. This wasn't my idea. I mean, I'm only following orders.
Oh, only following orders?
Original.
Heard that
All right.
one before.
Look. I'll tear up the complaint. See? All gone. Now, everybody's happy, all right?
I'm not happy, Mr. Monroe. I'm not going to be happy until you tell me who's paying you off.
I don't know. I was ordered to close this place down, so I closed it. Eat! Enjoy!
I'm not through with you.
Oh, no, let him go, Judith. Oh, Judith, it was almost worth the aggravation. Oh, just to see you. Thank you.
Well, that's what we're here for, right?
Oh,
I am with Wanda. That was legal service above and beyond the call of duty.
well, to show my appreciation, chili for everybody
come on.
the house.
It was nothing.
Oh,
Don't
the heck it was. Extra
on.
onions,
What
Wanda.
the-
This brilliant, beautiful lady deserves the best.
Oh, come on. It's all Judith's fault.
Oh, I don't know that it's anyone's fault, Mother.
Oh, don't be so naive, Charles. Judith just loves playing Joan of Arc, no matter how much trouble her crusades may cost. And as for Jeffrey, we both know that he'd do anything to get back at this family.
Well, I don't know that.
Of course you do. He's been nothing but trouble ever since he came to town. And now that he and Judith are so cozy.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I deserve it.
Charles, what are you thinking?
Well, you should have seen him today, Mother.
I've seen enough of that interloper to last me a lifetime.
He's not an interloper. He is my son.
A biological accident.
Nevertheless, you should have seen him today, the way he stood up for himself, the way he defended Judith. Do you know who he reminded me of? Me.
That's nonsense. You're a Sanders.
Well, so is he, whether we acknowledge it or not. Do you remember, Mother, when I was Jeffrey's age?
Of course I do. By then, you were well on your way to reaching the highest echelons of the diplomatic corps.
Well, maybe so, but what I also needed was my father's attention. And how did I go about getting that? Do you remember? I used to provoke him. I used to pretend to be that strong, arrogant young man. When inside, I was just a scared little boy. And that's what Jeffrey showed me today.
That's very touching. But please don't ever mention it again. I will not have you feeling sorry for that troublemaker. Mark my words, Charles. If you hold out a hand to Jeffrey McGrath, you'll have to count your fingers afterwards.
It's called the Hunan death grip.
I thought that's what I had for dinner last night.
Okay, now listen up. You want to learn from the master, you got to learn my most important trick. How to avoid a heartless and remorseless assailant.
So I hold hands with him.
You don't hold hands with him. It's for when he holds hands with you. Say you're in a dark restaurant or a theater or something. You think that everything's going along okay, but the guy is really up to no good.
Ah, so you're trying to save me from a fate worse than death.
Pay attention. all right? Take your thumb, put it between this thumb, grab him by the wrist, and now you just squeeze.
Ow.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I'll be needing the Hunan death grip tonight. Plus, I don't want to keep my date waiting.
Give me dick. I thought you just said that to get my goat.
Ah, wrong again, master. Thank you. I owe you one.
You really fell for it, huh?
Yeah. A little harder than I thought.
Oh, hi, Frankie. How about a drink?
You'd like that, wouldn't you? That'd just make your whole damn day, wouldn't it?
What are you yelling about?
What's the matter, Johnny? Don't you recognize it?
Hey, look, Frank, it's nothing to get upset about.
Nothing! You call messing around with my wife nothing? How'd you like me to wrap this around your neck, Johnny? How'd you like me to wrap it around your neck so tight you turn purple and bust?
Right, let him go. Let him go.
Listen to the man, Frankie. You'll end up regretting this. I know I will.
You think I believe that this tie just walked right into my apartment all by itself?
There is a simple explanation for this, please.
You're telling me!
I am not messing around with your wife.
You got all the moves, don't you, Johnny? Which one did you use for Sandra, huh?
We looked through a yearbook, Frankie. That's all. She spilled some wine on my tie, and that was it. She wanted to clean it. That's all that happened.
Look, I told you guys enough. Now you either take this outside or I call the cops.
You can call the Air Force for all I care. This guy's been hot for my Sandra ever since they sat next to each other in sociology.
Oh, come on.
And he's still after her, aren't you, Johnny?
If you want to prove your love to Sandra, then tell Sandra, not me.
Oh,
I said enough now. Get out of here.
all right. Okay. You stay away from her, Johnny. Or next time you wear this tie, you'll be hanging on it from a chandelier.
Don't even like this tie. Hey, I'm sorry, Steve. That guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know, John. You don't have to convince me. All right, folks. Sorry. Floor show's over. Let's go.
You're staring at me like you've never seen me before.
Maybe I haven't.
Okay, here we go. Chili. Wanda, we can't claim
Extra onions for my two favorite attorneys.
Would you like to go after Monroe? Make him talk?
No, Monroe is small time. We have to find out who the power is behind him. Then we'll know who's trying to close down Wanda's. Yay.
Oh, Morris Klein, you missed all the excitement. These are our attorneys over here, and they just scored 1 point for our side.
One for us, one for them. Give me a seltzer, Wanda. Heavy on the seltzer.
Morris, what's the matter?
My smoke shop just went up in smoke. I'd laugh, but it isn't funny.
Up in smoke. No, I didn't hear any sirens.
It was a quiet conflagration. I sold the shop, Wanda.
Oh, Morris, you didn't.
I couldn't take the pressure anymore. Do you know how many times I smelled smoke in the back alley? Do you know how many window panes I've had to replace?
Mr. Klein, excuse me, but we represent Wanda and the Waterfront Block Association.
We're trying to help owners like yourself hold on to their shops.
It's my health I want to hold on to, young man.
Who is it who's pressuring you?
Mr. No-Name Dummy Corporation.
I got a name. The 21st Century Corporation.
Cook says the dinner will be ready shortly.
Ah, good.
Charles, I forbid you to think about Jeffrey any more tonight. Now, tell me some good news. How's the waterfront project going?
Oh, that's fine. I mean, as soon as we acquire the rest of the property, we can start construction anytime.
Well, that's happy news, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And tell me, Does the development company have a name?
Ah, yes. Matter of fact, we had some stationery and some business cards printed up. Let me show you. Tell me what you think.
Oh, I do like that. Very forward-looking. The 21st Century Corporation.
I bet you didn't get much of this in that African prison. Pepperoni pizza.
Not now, sis, okay?
Oh, pizza, huh? The file must be fascinating.
It is. There's more on my mind in this file right now. Kate just left here a little while ago.
Oh, she came to tell you about Cord's divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Patrick.
You don't be. I talked her into staying until the wedding.
How did you manage that?
Oh, I just appealed to the better side of her. I knew that she wasn't going to give up on this.
Well, come on. I want to hear the rest of the conversation. What? Patrick.
I don't believe this.
What? Is that the stuff you took from the off-limits lab?
Yeah, but these notes don't belong in this folder. This paper is yellow. The handwriting is mine.
What?
These are my notes. These are the same papers that were taken from me in Africa.
It's impossible. How did they wind up in a lab at Sanders?
Well, the answer's obvious, Cindy. Somebody at Sanders stole my research. For all I know, they had me put in that prison in Zaroon.
Who could have done that?
One name. Elizabeth Sanders did this.
Why would she do it?
I don't know. Greed, ambition, fear. I really don't care what her motives were. All I know is that I can use this information to get exactly what I want.
You can claim credit for your formula.
I'm not thinking about just the formula. Thanks to Elizabeth, I'm going to get Kate back.
Nobody's home.
What?
Tina? Girl, what are you doing here this time of night? Is there anything wrong with the baby?
Oh, no, Elle's fine. In fact, when I left, Lancer Kim was just about to give him and Jessica a bath. Can I come in?
Oh, yeah, sure. Come on in. Giving them a bath, huh? I guess those two little kids are kind of cute in the tub together.
Yeah.
Tina, I was right. There is something wrong, isn't there? Please tell me what it is.
Look, it just wasn't so long ago that you and I were two innocent kids in love, and here we are. The divorce is tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I asked Briggs to give me a couple extra photo assignments tonight, hoping that would help keep my mind off things, but it didn't work.
I thought you'd be out celebrating.
Tina.
Now, look, it just hit me all of a sudden that tonight is going to be our last night of being husband and wife, and I really didn't want to spend it alone. Look, Cord, while we still have time, there's one thing I'd like you to do for me.
More late assignments for me. From now on, I leave the TV station at 6 in the evening so I can spend more time with... Well, now, isn't it a little warm this time of year for a parka?
Not in the Alps. Rick has made the first cut for the ski team, and as soon as he passes his physical, he's leaving for Austria, and I'm going with him.
Don't you think we should sit down and discuss this calmly and rationally?
There is nothing to discuss. I can't take the lies anymore. I'm leaving with Rick, and there's nothing you can say that will stop me.
You talk to Rollo?
Not since that incident in my room. Max, why did you want to meet me here?
Have a seat. Let's just call it a precaution, okay? I want to make sure no one is listening. Find it a little strange that Rollo didn't call to see if you recovered from your little scare?
Well, he might have. I haven't been at the hotel very much.
Oh. Unless he's, finding another plan to suit your father's watch. Gabrielle, it is time you face the facts. Now, Rollo showed a sudden interest in you only after your father died, and then his major interest was in your father's antique jewelry. And then you show up here in Lambview. And what happens? Almost immediately, your good friend Rollo shows up here. Coincidence? I don't think so. And then your room is broken into while you're having dinner with Rollo. I don't think that's a coincidence either.
Max, all of this is getting so complicated.
Listen, Gabrielle, I cannot help you unless you tell me the truth about the facts, all the facts.
Please, Max. All right. All right. I haven't been completely honest with you. Certain things happened down in Argentina. Important things. I think it's time I tell you what they were.
And isn't the only shopkeeper who's been forced out by the pressure.
You're right. The south end of the waterfront is under siege by the 21st Century Corporation.
Right, and the north end is no better. At this point, the only thing that stands between their greed and total occupation of the waterfront is Wanda's Diner.
Jeff, we have to do something. We've got to find out who the power is behind that corporation.
Forgive the interruption.
Oh, Hurt, come in. We can use all the lawyers we can get to go through these files.
Well, I'm not here to volunteer.
No. Pull up a chair and grab some deeds. We're trying to find the name behind this phone.
Sorry, I leave my work at the office, especially when I have a very important dinner date.
Dinner? Oh, Herb, I forgot.
You don't mean it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me explain. A health inspector was trying to shut down Wanda's Diner, so we ran over there and stopped him. Then we came back here and we're trying to figure out who's trying to stop and shut down the whole waterfront.
This whole night has been one big emergency.
If you don't mind, I'm speaking to your partner.
Oh, sure. Look, I'm sorry.
Thank you. This may come as a surprise to you, Judith, as a shock even, but being the district attorney, I get my share of emergencies, things like homicide and armed robbery, but still, somehow I managed to keep my dates for dinner.
Herb, how can I make this up to you?
Well, if you could manage to sacrifice that sandwich, the sushi bar is open till 11. If we hurry, we could still toss down a couple of avocado rolls, California rolls with avocado and shrimp and all that.
Tonight?
That's when our date was scheduled for, sweetheart. A very special date at the Tampopo Gardens. Fool that I am, I planned a little surprise.
Oh, Herb, I'm so touched.
Well, that's more like it. Come on, let's get out of here.
Well, I can't. Jeff and I are expecting a call from a contact of mine at the Planning Commission.
Honey, you know what time it is? City planners work normal hours like the rest of us normal people. Come on.
But he's doing us a favor. His information may be the key to us solving this whole case. I just can't leave.
Judith, go on. I can handle the phone call.
You hear that? St. George conveys the dragon without you.
Yes, but you see, he's my contact. He may not speak to anyone else.
I'll talk to him, turn on the charm, go on, have some fun.
Well, it's up to you, sweetheart. I mean, you haven't given up on fun altogether, have you?
I was hoping we could have dinner tonight. The three of us.
What, you mean right now?
Well, we could have a late supper at Lancer, and Al's been napping all day. I'm sure he'd love to see you.
Well, I'd hate to cause trouble for all the folks over at Landfair, Tina.
Oh, it's no trouble. I mean, the staff likes me. Well, some of them do, and they could fix this nice meal, and we could be like a family for a while, and we could be kind to each other and try to remember all the good things about our marriage. There were good things, weren't there?
Yeah. Yeah, of course there were.
Good. Well, listen, I'll go ahead and get things started, and you just come over when you're ready, okay?
Wait a minute here, please. First of all, by the time that Al is a full-grown man, we're going to have millions of meals together, the three of us.
You promise?
Yes, ma'am, I do promise. But, I think we need to take a pass on having dinner together tonight. Yeah, I know you want to be happy, and I know you want to think about the good times right now, Tina, but I just think that you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And on me. And Al, too. I just don't think we should make ourselves more miserable than we already are.
Boy, I'm definitely miserable, and I really don't see how things could get much worse.
Tina, I don't need a special dinner plan to think about the good times. I mean, I've got those with me all the time. They're in here.
I know this may be real hard to believe right about now. But in my own way, Tina, I still love you.
You don't have to say that now.
Oh, I know I don't have to. I want to. You know, there's something else that I don't say enough, and I'm going to say it right now. I think that you are a wonderful mother to our son. And these past few months, Tina, you've become this terrific person.
Noticed?
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed. And I know that you're going to have this great, happy future ahead of you. And one of the things that I'm most sorry about is that, well, that I won't be part of that future.
It's hard to believe I'm never going to wear this ring again.
Yeah, Tina, don't.
No, I told myself I wasn't going to cry. That's right. Just cry.
I lied about my father's watch. I know where it is. I have all along.
Go on.
I gave it to Tina when we were down in Argentina together.
Tina, wait.
I'm sorry. I should have told you earlier. I realized.
Whoa. When did you have a chance to give Tina a watch?
I told you when she came to Buenos Aires.
I was in Buenos Aires with Tina. You saw her for 10 seconds. You were 30 yards apart.
We were in the jungle together when Jamie was holding her hostage.
Oh, let me get this straight. You gave your father's antique watch to someone you'd only known for a few hours in the middle of a kidnapping.
Look, if you just give me time, I'll explain. I met with Tina later after she went over the falls. And after she had her baby, the natives helped her back to civilization. The only name she knew in Buenos Aires was Medina.
Well, she was able to find you, of course, where I couldn't.
That's right. My grandmother and I took her in, and I cared for her son as though he were my own. We became very close during that time. I gave Tina my father's watch as a token of our friendship. I never would have given it to her if I'd had any idea what danger it would cause.
Why have you and Tina decided to keep this such a big secret?
Because the whole episode was so traumatic for Tina, she doesn't like to talk about it. Besides, I made Tina promise that she never tell you that she knew me. You were looking for me, and I didn't want to be found, do you remember?
Okay. So you and Tina had this big secret pact that you weren't going to break. It doesn't matter right now. What matters is that Tina's got the watch. Oh, God. Her life is in danger. She doesn't even know it.
Costa Boulder doesn't have the watch anymore.
What?
When I went to Lamfair to get the watch, Tina told me that she'd given it to Cord.
Does anyone else know this?
No, not that I know of.
So let's see what else we got here. Tina doesn't have the watch anymore, so she's no longer in danger. That's good. Cord, nobody knows he has the watch. That's good, too.
Max, what are you thinking?
Well, we've got this watch that someone, possibly Rollo, was willing to kill for. So it must lead to a ton of money. Now, that watch belonged to your father. So wherever it leads, that belongs to you also.
If you're suggesting what I...
Gabrielle, why let someone else walk away with a fortune when it belongs to you?
My father's fortune was built on his cocaine trade. If you think I'm going to have anything to do with that, you've got another thing coming.
Are you through with the sermon? Now get real. Your father had a lot of money come in that had nothing to do with drugs. He had his horses, his ranch, the real...
Yes, and all of it was built on sand, white powdered sand.
We don't know that. And until we do, why cut off our options? That watch is the key.
That damn watch, I never... wish it never existed.
Well, it does. And if we don't find it, someone else will. Now, I don't want you to tell anyone about this, especially not Cord and Tina. Trust me on this. No one's going to get hurt, and no one is going to get rich off of illegal drug money. As long as we keep this between us.
If one life will be made safe. Then all right.
You won't be sorry. Come on, let's get you back to a real hotel. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called the Holden Towers. I've been looking all over town for you.
It's a good thing you're not better at finding me. You just missed Gabrielle and Max Holden. You know we shouldn't be seen together.
I'm not blind. I saw them together. I waited till they were gone. Chantel, you haven't called me. I hope you're not planning to keep Dante's fortune for yourself.
It never crossed my mind. I simply had nothing to report.
Okay. I know the search has been frustrating, but we mustn't lose patience. We know Gabrielle is hiding something that will eventually lead us to the watch. Once we have that, we'll have Dante's fortune.
I bet you're wondering why I asked you here.
Well, not really. You probably want to check behind my ears, underneath my fingernails, to see if I'm good enough for Mary Lynn, right?
No. Hey, am I picking up that you don't think I have a right to interfere?
If it wasn't for your interference to begin with, Mary Lynn and I might have, never patched things up after our last fight.
Well, then you know how fond of her I am. And I'm also concerned about her happiness. Look, Rick, Mary Lynn loves you. And sometimes when you're in love, you're not very objective about things. So I just want to ask you, are you as serious about her as she is about you?
Lee, let me tell you something. I've only been in love once in my life. And that's with Mary Lynn. I would never do anything to hurt her.
It's easy to say.
And I'm ready to prove it. As soon as I pass my physical, Mary Lynn and I are leaving for Austria.
When is your physical?
That's tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And this is where we'll be staying, right here. And you're welcome to come visit and see if I'm, treating Mary Lynn all right.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. You came prepared, didn't you? Well, I'm really impressed about that. Just as I'm impressed about the way you feel about Mary Lynn, I think it's really genuine.
Believe me, it is. I just wish there was something I could do to get her through tonight. She had so many arguments with her father.
Oh.
Do you know Mr. Dennison?
Slightly.
So what do you think? You think he's going to try and stop her from leaving?
Mary Lynn, I'm not going to force you to stay home because I do realize you're old enough to make your own decisions.
My own mistakes. Isn't that what you really mean?
All right. I think you're making a terrible mistake. I'm sorry I wouldn't be much of a father if I didn't say so, but you have to be very careful not to allow your pride to interfere with your judgment. All right, I was wrong to lie to you about your mother, but caring too much, that's such a crime. Won't you forgive me and try to learn to trust me again, huh?
Dad, right now I'm not sure what you would or wouldn't do to keep me from finding out about my mother. That's why I'm moving out. I'm taking a room at the Holden Towers until our flight leaves for Austria.
Hi, Mary Lynn. I hope I'm not interrupting your dinner.
No, you're not interrupting anything. I was just on my way out.
Mary Lynn, wait just a moment, honey. Mary Lynn.
Can I help?
I wish you could. No, I don't think anyone can help now.
Really does. But I wonder.
Wonder what?
I just wondered. Do you think maybe you're trying a little too hard to patch things up with Mary Lynn?
Well, what should I do? Just let her get on the plane and fly away out of my life forever?
That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to lose her. Anyway, the point that I was trying to make is Mary Lynn right now seems to want you to treat her as if she is mature enough to make her own decisions. Maybe you should do that.
Well, I just tried that. You saw what happened.
No offense, but I expect you talked to her as if she were still your little girl, didn't you? And she doesn't think of herself that way anymore. She thinks she's a woman. She thinks she's a woman who's in love.
I suppose I should have brought Rick Gardner into the conversation. Is that it?
Couldn't hurt.
Oh, come on, Vic. He's just a kid.
Oh, I know he's a kid, but from what I've seen of him, he is very considerate, very thoughtful, and much more important, he is devoted to Mary Lynn. Would it be so wrong to just sit down with the two of them and, I don't know, try talking it out with them?
Oh, fine, but would they listen?
Yes.
I mean, not if you lecture, but if you listen to them, of course they'll listen to you. You know, Tom, I have the feeling that Rick feels that he's rescuing Mary Lynn from this painful home environment. I'm sure you could show him that you truly love her, that you really only want what's best for her.
But does Rick want what's best for her?
Yes, I think he does. And if you could get him to understand that Mary Lynn is giving up her education and her own aspirations to follow him to Europe, you will have yourself an ally. And then Mary Lynn will be free to make her own choice without feeling she's being bossed by anybody.
Yeah, but I'm the boss.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. You're probably right. Besides, I have very little time and nothing to lose.
I hope you don't mind, darling. I've just sort of lost my appetite for sushi. You know, look, could we just grab a drink here and then we'll step into the restaurant for something light?
Uh-huh. I need something first.
What's that?
A hug.
Judith Sanders hugging in public?
Well, I'm not the staid, serious lawyer I used to be. Something's changed me.
The clinic.
No, you.
Me?
How could I be the same after all the bowling and camping and all those wonderful things you showed me? There's life after work, and you taught that to me, Herb. I am very grateful.
Well, I'm grateful you're grateful. Rob, a bottle of your coldest, driest Chablis.
Of course, Mr. Carlson.
Come on, have a seat. Well, here we are.
You're going to forgive me for not remembering our date.
Oh, if you forgive me for dragging you away from the clinic.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
What's my surprise?
surprise.
Herb, you said you were going to forgive me. What's my surprise?
Oh, I don't know. Judith, I was hoping to pop it on you, you know, completely unexpectedly. I think the whole thing's spoiled now. Let's just forget about it.
Your wine, sir?
Ah.
Would you like to see the bottle?
No.
Oh, yes. I always like to check the bottle. This is 1987. Is that a good year?
Oh, it was a wonderful year.
Really?
Yeah.
You should. Oh. Well,
Pour it.
pour on.
Herb? Have I suffered long enough?
I think so. And I think I have the antidote right here in my pocket.
Oh, my
Come on.
You shouldn't have. Rock?
Well, no, it's not just any rock. Now, I picked that rock up on a beach in Bar Harbor, Maine, darling. I've always wanted to go back and get some more, say, next week.
Are you suggesting that...
Well, I cleared my schedule. All you have to do is clear yours, and we can have the whole week to ourselves.
Oh.
Summer breezes, cool, lobster at the Lobster Claw Restaurant.
Oh.
A 4-poster bed at the Harbor Inn.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
It sounds like the most romantic way to spend a week.
Wow.
If only I...
If only...
In a week's time, Wanda's diner could be snapped up, like all the other waterfront properties, by those greedy developers. I can't let that happen.
Well, you do have a partner.
Jeff is not experienced enough to handle that sort of thing, and we're dealing with very heavy hitters here. I can't.
Yeah, all right, forget it.
No! Step back. Oh, Herb. Maine will still be there in a few weeks. So will the lobsters and the 4-poster beds. Please be patient with me. I'll make it up to you, I promise. I will.
Here you go. Sorry, that's the last one.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't have any right to cry on your shoulder.
Hey, my shoulder is here for you to cry on anytime you need it.
Look, the nicer you're being about this, the harder it's going to be for me, okay?
Tina, I know that right now this seems like it's the end of the world, but it's not really. I mean, think about Al, all right? Think about the wonderful life that he's got ahead of him and how we're going to be able to share in that with him every step of the way.
And how you'll be with Kate. And I will be alone.
We will be the three of us together. And Al will know that he's loved, both by his mommy and his daddy.
You mean you won't lose him? Honey, how could you even think something like that?
Because I have lost everything that I have ever loved.
I'll show you something. Something you may have forgotten. Remember this? Remember when you gave it to me?
Put it away, okay?
Why? Tina, this is very special to me. See, you gave it to me, and you asked me to save it, and then the one day you gave it to Al. To kind of show that even time is not going to change how much we love him.
Yeah, well, time can be very cruel sometimes.
Yeah, it can be. But the way I see it, time is just about all we've got. And we can't waste a second of it. And we won't, Tina. For little Al's sake, we can't. Tell you what, how about if I take you back over to Lanfair, and the two of us together go put our little son to bed for the night. Then we can read him a story, one of his favorites, and we'll be sure to pick one with the real happy ending.
Yeah.
There is no reason we have to be enemies, Mrs. Teasdale. As owners of the Waterside Inn and the Holden Towers, you and I have something in common.
And what might that be, Mr. Holden?
We are both looking to turn a profit.
I do very well on my own, thanks.
Oh, I know you do. And that's why I'm so interested in doing business with you. You see, the Holden Towers is just the first of my planned acquisitions. I am very interested in the Waterside Inn.
I'm flattered. But the inn's not for sale.
You haven't even heard my offer. Now, all I really need to do is let me take a look at the place. I'll give you so I can get an idea of the relative value, and I'll make you a proposition. Fair enough?
I don't know about you, Mr. Holden, but I'm far too busy to take real estate speculators on guided tours.
Well, no problem. I'll do all the work myself. If you could just give me a guest list, a master key, and I'll examine a few of the unoccupied rooms.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. What have you got to lose? Besides, you might have a great deal to gain.
All right.
Here's our guest list.
Make a note of the unoccupied rooms. There aren't many. I'll get you the master key.
Thank you.
Coming to you every time things get to be too much at home.
No, it's a terrible burden. Can't you tell?
Well, I won't be a burden to anyone much longer. This time tomorrow, Rick and I will be on our way to Austria.
So you've made up your mind?
Mm-hmm. Rick loves me and I love him. We could wait all our lives for my father's permission. Well, I'm through waiting and I'm through fighting.
You know what, Mary Lynn? You don't have to convince me. I think you're doing the right thing.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I do know. I know I said in the beginning to take your time, but you know, I've been thinking it over. And also I've gotten a chance to meet Rick and,
You talked to him?
Yeah, I did. I hope you don't mind, but I just had to make sure that he really felt the way you did. And you know, it seems he really cares. So you know what I say to you? Go to Europe. Right, have fun. Have a wonderful time. And also rejoice in the fact that you've taken charge of your own life.
Well, this is a surprise. I never expected that you would be encouraging me to go.
Oh, wait, now, don't get me wrong here. I mean, I'm really going to be sad to see you go. You know, I just met you, and I'm going to have to say goodbye to you, but I don't know. I think you'll be really happy there. And I think you and Rick will be wonderful.
Oh, why can't my father see things as clearly as you do?
You know why? Because he still sees you as a little girl. but I see you as a woman.
Promise me you won't laugh. Okay. Okay, but I really feel like a woman now. I guess it's because I'm finally taking charge of my life.
Oh, that's wonderful. But listen, you don't have to take too much charge of your life. This suitcase here, why don't you spend the night at my suite? I have this extra bed.
Oh, no, Lee, I couldn't.
No, listen, I insist. You wouldn't have to pay for your room for the night, and also the next morning we could, have a proper goodbye.
Well, when you put it that way, okay.
Excuse me, Mary Lynn Dennison. You have a phone call.
Oh, well, I wonder how Rick knew that I was here.
I don't know.
Hello, Rick, guess what?
Mary Lynn, it's me, honey.
Dad, if you're calling to tell me to come home,
No, hear me out, please. Look, I don't want to change your mind, but I also can't let our last words to each other be angry ones. That's why I was wondering if you and Rick would join me later. Let's call it a bon voyage dinner.
I don't see what the three of us have to discuss. I'm leaving with Rick, and that's it.
I won't be seeing you for a long time, honey. Won't you at least spend part of your last evening with me, please?
I'm sorry, Dad, but could you hold on a minute, please? He wants Rick and me to have dinner with him tonight.
Say yes.
What?
Oh, look, Mary Lynn, but do this for me.
Okay. All right, I'll call Rick, and can we eat here?
I'll be there within the hour, honey.
I didn't know about you, but I could go for some dinner, maybe some dancing, and then...
Why don't we forget the dinner?
Right.
And forget the dancing. And then...
Oh.
There you are. I was looking for you at the Tampopo Gardens, and a wild guess, I thought you might be here.
Wrong again. We're just leaving. Good night, Jeff.
Oh, no. Don't worry. I will only keep you a moment. I thought Judith would want to know right away. The news.
What news?
Your contact at City Hall came through. We know the name behind the 21st Century Corporation.
That's wonderful.
Yes, I'm very happy for you, Jeff. And tomorrow you can pat each other in the back. Right now, Judith and I have other plans.
Wouldn't you like to hear the name?
No.
Yes. What's his name?
Your ex-husband, Charles Sanders.
Dan, why do you want me to have dinner with my father?
Now, you know your father's not going to talk you out of going on that trip, right? So, I don't know, it might be nice to part on good terms. It's your father's way of making a gesture.
Maybe,
right?
but I know that once we start talking about something other than the food or the weather, he'll see something wrong. I'll get all upset, and Lee, it's just going to end up in an argument.
Boy, it sounds like you need a mediator. Someone to keep this conversation civilized?
Terrific idea. Will you join us?
No, Mary Lynn.
No, listen, it's the perfect solution. You've had lots of experience as a mediator, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I have, but it's been in business, not family.
Lee, my family needs all the help it can get. Please say you'll join us. Please?
All right, if it means that much to you.
Oh, you're the greatest. Well, I better call Rick.
Okay. Oh, hey, listen, why don't you use the payphones in the lobby? That way you can have a little more privacy.
Well, okay. I'll be back in a minute.
Great. Take your time. Bianca, it's Lee. No, don't ask any questions. Just do what I say.
What all the fuss is about, huh? Funny. You don't look worth killing for to me. Then again.
Tina, is he asleep?
Finally. I really envy him. I'm going to get a wink of sleep tonight.
I saw Cord pulling out of the driveway a minute ago.
Yeah, I went to see him tonight.
Oh, Tina, you didn't.
Ricky, I know it seems masochistic, but it's not. But I had to see him. I mean, I realized that tonight was the last night we'd be husband and wife together, and I didn't want to spend it all alone in this big house. And
Why would you put yourself through that?
because it made me happy. Look, I may not seem very happy right now, but I was then. Because even for an hour or so, we were a family.
Oh, honey. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You know, I always knew that Cord would make a wonderful father. Like he was a wonderful husband. I haven't blown it.
Well, don't punish yourself for it now.
But it's all my fault. I lied. I ruined everything. But, you know, I never lost the feeling that Cord and I were really meant for each other. And you know, Vicky, tonight I had that same feeling.
Honey, don't do this. Don't start deluding yourself now. Tomorrow's going to come. There's no way to hold it back. And when it does come...
I know it's going to happen.
But tomorrow will bring a day that will not bring only sadness.
Vicky, there is no point in trying to cheer me up now, okay?
I'm telling you the truth, darling. And the truth is not all gloomy and dreadful. Yes, it's true. A period of your life is ending tomorrow. But a whole new period of your life is beginning as well. It all depends on how you choose to look at it.
I don't choose to look at it. That's just it. If I could, I'd just lie in my bed all day with the covers over my head.
Hey, not my sister. Not Tina Lord.
Tina Lord, huh? Boy, I already missed the Roberts part.
You are a lord. And you always will be. And you are welcome to stay here at Landfair with Al for just as long as you like.
Thank you. I just hope Al and I get a chance to stay here.
Why wouldn't you?